You know what? Right now, as you're watching this, you're dying. Not in some poetic, philosophical way. I mean, literally. About 330 billion of your cells are dying today. And tomorrow, another 330 billion. Your body is a crime scene on an industrial scale. But here's the strange part you don't notice. You look in the mirror, you see you. Same face, same hands, same scar on your knee from that bike accident when you were 12. You think you're the same person who woke up this morning, the same person who graduated high school, the same person your mother held as a baby. But you're not. You're a copy. A very good copy, but a copy nonetheless. And the original you, that person is long gone. A.T. There's this idea floating around, you've probably heard it, that your body completely replaces itself every 7 years. New cells, new atoms, new you. Like a slow-motion teleporter that takes a decade instead of a second. It's repeated in blogs, in TED Talks, in conversations at dinner parties. And like most things that sound profound and get repeated a lot, it's not quite right. But the truth is so much stranger because some parts of you replace themselves in days. Some parts take years. And some parts, some very important parts, never replace themselves at all. So let me ask you a question that might keep you up tonight. If most of your body is new, but some of it is original, then what percentage of new you makes you not you anymore? Is it 50%? 98%? And who gets to decide? 2. Let's start with the easy stuff. Your stomach lining. The inside of your gut is basically a war zone. It's exposed to acid strong enough to dissolve metal, bacteria by the trillions. Food that's half digested and fighting back. So your body doesn't mess around. Every 3 to 5 days, it scraps the entire lining and builds a new one. 3 days. Think about that. The cells that touched your breakfast on Monday are dead and gone by Thursday, replaced by a fresh crew who never met that omelet. 2A. To your skin, that's on about a 2 to 4 week cycle. Every month, you're wearing a completely new surface. The you that people see, the you that shakes hands and feels the sun, that's brand new every 30 days. You shed about 30,000 to 40,000 dead skin cells every single minute. That dust on your furniture, that's not just dirt. That's you. That's the old you, falling off like snow. 8. Your red blood cells, the ones carrying oxygen to every part of your body right now, they last about 4 months. Your liver, it can regenerate completely in about a year. Cut out half of it, and within 12 months, it grows back like some kind of biological Wolverine. Your bones, yeah. Even your bones, they're constantly remodeling. Cells called osteoclasts eat away old bone. Cells called osteoblasts build new bone. The entire skeleton turns over roughly every 10 years. IT. So you add it all up, you average it out, and you get this magic number, 7 years. 7 years for a whole new you, except that's not how it works, because averages lie. They smooth out the truth. And the truth is messy. The truth is that some of you is ancient, and some of you was born this morning. 2, here's what they don't tell you. Your heart muscle cells, most of them don't replace at all. You're born with them and you die with them. They regenerate at a rate of about 1% per year. 1%. That means by the time you're 50, maybe half your heart cells are original. The other half are slow replacements that took decades to arrive. Your heart is a mixed crew, some sailors from the original voyage, some new recruits who signed on later. But the ship is still mostly the old ship. 2. And then there's your brain, your neurons, the cells that hold your memories, your personality, your ability to understand these words. Most of them never replace. You're born with about 100 billion neurons, and that's it. That's your lifetime supply. Some areas of the brain, like the hippocampus, do generate new neurons, but the vast majority, they're original equipment. The neuron that fired when you learned to ride a bike is the same neuron firing right now. It's been with you the whole time, which raises a beautiful and terrifying question. If your brain cells don't replace, and your brain is where you live, then are you actually the same person after all? Or are you just an old consciousness riding around in a ship that keeps rebuilding itself underneath you? 18. Let's go deeper. Let's talk about atoms. Because even if your cells stay the same, the atoms inside those cells, they don't. You eat food, you drink water, you breathe air. Carbon atoms from your lunch get absorbed, get built into proteins, get woven into the structure of your muscle. Oxygen from the air becomes part of your blood. Hydrogen from the water becomes part of your DNA. The atoms flow in and the atoms flow out. It's been calculated that over the course of about 7 years, there's that number again, almost every atom in your body gets swapped out for a new one. You are literally not made of the same stuff you were made of a decade ago. Oh, time. So here's the paradox. If I take your childhood teddy bear and I replace its head, is it still the same teddy bear? Maybe. If I replace its arms and legs, is it still the same bear? Probably. But what if I replace the stuffing, the fur, the eyes, the stitching, one piece at a time, year after year, until there's not a single thread left from the original? Is it still your teddy bear, or is it just a replica wearing the memory of your bear? Night. This isn't a new question. The ancient Greeks called it the Ship of Theseus. Theseus, the hero, had a ship. Over time, the sailors replaced every plank, every sail, every rope. Eventually, nothing from the original ship remained. So the philosophers asked, is it still the Ship of Theseus? And here's the kicker. They took all the old planks and built a second ship out of them. Now there are two ships, one made of new parts in the old configuration, one made of old parts in the old configuration. Which one is the real ship? Two. You are the Ship of Theseus. You are a ship that repairs itself while sailing. And nobody, no scientist, no philosopher, no priest can tell you for certain which ship is the real you. Is it the continuity of pattern, the unbroken story? Or is it the original material, even if it's scattered to the wind? IT. Here's what really gets me. We act like identity is this solid thing, this unchanging core. We say, I am me. I've always been me. I will always be me. But you're not. You're a process. You're not a noun. You're a verb. You're not a thing that exists. You're a thing that happens. You're a flame that burns through different wood. The flame looks the same, but the wood keeps turning to ash and getting replaced. IT, and maybe that's okay. Maybe it's even beautiful. Because if you're not the same person you were 10 years ago, then you're not trapped by who you were. The guy who made that mistake in college, different atoms. The girl who got her heart broken in high school, different cells. You carry the memory, you carry the pattern, but you are not condemned to be that person forever. Every day, you get a chance to rebuild yourself a little differently. Every meal, every breath, every thought, you are voting on who the next version of you will be. But here's the part that terrifies me. If we built a machine that could scan you perfectly, every atom, every connection, every memory, and then print you out on Mars using fresh Martian atoms, that copy would have just as much claim to being you as the you standing here tomorrow. Because tomorrow, you is already a copy made by your own body, one cell at a time. The only difference is speed. The transporter does in a second what your body does in 7 years. Night. So which death is worse? The instant death in the teleporter or the slow death of replacement you're experiencing right now? Every night, you go to sleep as one collection of atoms and wake up with a few billion of them swapped out. You don't mourn them. You don't even notice. But you would never step into the teleporter. Why? Because the replacement would be too fast, because you'd see it happening. That maybe the real horror isn't that we might die in a teleporter. Maybe the real horror is that we're already in the transporter. We've been in it our whole lives. We just didn't realize it was turned on. 2. Here's my take. I think you are the continuity. You're not the atoms, not the cells, not even the specific neurons. You're the pattern that persists. You're the story that keeps telling itself, even as the pages turn to dust and get replaced with new paper. You're the song, not the instrument. And as long as the song keeps playing, as long as there's an unbroken thread of consciousness from yesterday to today to tomorrow, then you're still you. The ship is still the same ship as long as it never stops sailing. ATT, dead. But I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, then the you who started watching this video is already dead. And the you who's hearing these words right now is just a very confident imposter who inherited the memories and thinks they were there all along. 2. Sleep well. 2. Now, if you enjoyed having your sense of self completely dismantled, if you like staring into the existential abyss and asking it uncomfortable questions, then you're going to love what we talk about next time. Next time, we're asking whether you actually have free will, or if you're just a meat robot running a program written by physics and chemistry. So hit that subscribe button. It's one of the few choices you might actually be making. Or maybe you're not even making that choice. Maybe your atoms are just bumping into other atoms in a way that was predetermined at the Big Bang. But click it anyway. Let's pretend it matters. I'll see you in the next one. Assuming the next me remembers to show